Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We're talking my San Antonio Spurs, y'all. And we drop another loss, a tough loss against the Hawks, another loss against a team we should beat. Double overtime. The guys did fight tonight, but I've been noticing a trend about this team. We have to get back to that defensive identity. And it may be too late for this season, but I don't know what Pop is thinking. But we got to get back to that defensive mentality that the Spurs are known for. I've been a fan a long time. We have to get back to that pedigree, that expectation, those rules. If you don't play defense, you don't play. Because at this point, man, the Spurs defense is uglier than a Joakim Noah free throw.
Just, whoa. Oh, whoa. It was wide right. That's a Florida State player right there.
Spurs defense is uglier than a deadbeat's dad's cry for forgiveness. Spurs defense is uglier than that stab wound T'Challa gave Killmonger. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating just a little bit, but y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. We got to do better with the culture, with the defensive culture on this team. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay, guys, I'm just going to jump straight into my thoughts after this loss against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I just made a video recently about, titled "Why Are the Spurs Fans So Angry?" Why are Spurs fans so angry? And I was basically telling everyone to kind of pump their brakes, give this team time to develop and whatnot. And I still stand by that video. The Spurs losing like they are now to teams that they should be winning against, lack of consistency, lack of defensive intensity for the entire game. Those type of things are part of the growing process, but we can still voice our frustrations. That video was mainly about people freaking out, bashing the Spurs. What I'm doing in this video is I'm not bashing the team or having unrealistic expectations. I'm just pointing out that, hey, we should be able to beat the Hawks. You get what I'm saying? We should beat the Kings both times. Those type of games that we're missing out on because we have some tough games against Denver coming up, some really tough games. Toronto, I think, is coming up. So you want to kind of get these simple games. And the one thing I'm noticing is that the Spurs offense is really amazing, to be honest with you. I can't really complain about the offense. You got multiple people in double figures every night. You got multiple people, driving to the basket, kicking, sharing the basketball. Assist numbers are high. My boy Pirtle is straight hooping, 12 and 10 in his last 10 games, doing the daggone thing. You get what I'm saying? Derek White had 29 tonight, so he's coming alive. DeMar DeRozan had 35. My boy Murray had some foul trouble, but he's still in them. It was 16. So the offense is there. The problem with the Spurs is the defense is lacking, man. And they have their spurts when they're really sound defensively, but the defense is what is holding this team back. We're giving up 135 points to the Hawks, 134 points to Sacramento one night, and I think 130 plus to the Clippers in one of those games. That's too many daggone points. And I understand this is a new era of the NBA. I understand there's more free flowing, more scoring, but can we keep that down to 115 or something? The Spurs used to be a defensive powerhouse, not necessarily because they had the talent, which they did, don't get me wrong, but they also had that mentality. They had that pedigree. They had that level of expectation. Pop was like, if you don't play defense, you don't play. And I feel like he's gotten away from that the last few years. And if we're being really honest, it may be too late for this season to instill that pedigree, to instill that level of accountability on the court. You get what I'm saying? It used to be Pop was, unmovable when it came to the defensive end. You had to play defense. But the last couple of years, he's been kind of loose on that. And he may have a reason for that, but I'm just observing as a fan because remember last year, Bellinelli and Forbes, they were playing like crazy, and they were defensive slobs. You get what I'm saying? Now you look up, you got Rudy Gay out there getting torched. You got Patty Mills getting turbo torched, man. And it's even more obvious when Patty isn't making his shots, man. I think he was 1 for 10 tonight. Way low on the percentage end of things. So his defensive woes are even more prevalent, more obvious. You get what I'm saying? The Spurs have to get back to that defensive prowess. You know, we do have some defensive-minded players. Pirtle's doing pretty good. Murray, White doing pretty good. But I feel like it has to be a team effort. It has to be a team identity. And we don't identify as a defensive first team. Really, we don't identify as anything. We're kind of out here. You know, I don't know if we're a fast break team. I don't know if we're a running gun team. I don't know if we're a post-up team. We're definitely not a three-point shooting team. You get what I'm saying? So those things matter. You know, pedigree and philosophy, and you get what I'm saying? Those things matter, and we used to have a defensive pedigree. We used to have a defensive identity, and I think we have to get back to that. Even if we don't have the personnel, you know, we're a defensive first team. We're gonna, even if I don't want them to walk the ball up the court, I don't want that. But it's almost like, man, we gotta get better defensively consistently. You know, is it me, or does it feel like Pop doesn't even yell like he used to? You get what I'm saying about defensive mistakes? So that's one thing I noticed about these games that we're losing, that we're dropping. It's not the offense. We tend to focus on the offense. Well, Keldon isn't scoring a lot of points, or D. White didn't score enough points, or Murray didn't score enough points. It's not the points. It's the defensive mistakes, particularly guarding the three-point line. Good God. I think for me, that's the most irritating lapse on defense that I see game after game after game, is the inability to guard a three-point shot. I mean, these jokers are wide open. They're more open than 7-Eleven, man. More open than Walmart 24 hours. You get what I'm saying? And that's very frustrating, because, I mean, it's one thing to have a late closeout, and it's another thing not to have a closeout at all. I'm like, come on. And I've seen that like a half a dozen times in the last 2-3 games. And that used to not happen on the Spurs team. And remember, we had slower players. We had unathletic players playing better defense. And don't get me wrong, part of defense is having that defensive IQ. And I understand that. But I feel like we could do a little bit better than what we're doing, especially against teams like the Kings and the Hawks. You get what I'm saying? So I think it just comes down to philosophy. A change in philosophy, a change in mentality, a change in outlook. Hey, you know, for the 2022-2023 season, we're going to be a defensive first team. You get what I'm saying? Or should I say, 2021-22 season, we're going to be a defensive first team. You guys get what I'm trying to say? We're gonna make our bread and I cannot talk today. Bread and butter on the defensive end. You get what I'm saying, guys. I'm not gonna edit it out. It's late. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna edit this out, man. You're gonna have to take the bloopers, man. This is live and in color, baby. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. There's something missing with our philosophy and with our identity, and we just have to work on that. I still love the Spurs. I still hope we make the playoffs. I'm still pushing for these guys. This year is about development. Like I said in my other videos, we're not going to win the championship. We're not going to go deep in the playoffs. And that's okay, because these guys are growing. Pirtle is growing. Murray is growing. White is getting back in the groove. You see what I'm saying? DeRozan is still playing like an all-star on most nights. You know, we just need some changes somehow to get Vassell back on the court more often, some way, somehow, some big man play, some way, somehow, some consistency on the defensive end, some way, somehow. But we're making strides. You know, double overtime. We lost this one. At least these guys were fighting. All right, guys, this is it for this one. Tell me in the comments how you feel about the defense, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.